Hey everyone, hope you're doing great. So, today I'm conducting this session live. I hope you are watching online and uh, you can share from where you are joining me. Later on, if you're going to watch, then also I would expect your comment from which country you have watched this video. So, today's session is planned on getting started with Microsoft Fabric. Let me help you with my introduction first, and then we'll get started with the actual topics. Yes, my name Shalini Gupta, and I'm Microsoft certified trainer, serving to the industry last 20 years on different technical trainings. I'm certified for 17 certifications from Microsoft, and I'm certified for Power BI, Microsoft Data Fabric trainings as well. You can connect me to learn different skills from Microsoft as well as programming languages. You can connect me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on my YouTube channel also. If you have any such requirement, you wanted to attend any other live session, or you wanted to join me live in a paid training, please, most welcome. You can connect me on LinkedIn, or you can email me on training@AI Learning Solution.com. So with me, there is one more participant who is joining on Teams. Hi, Poonam. Am I audible to you? Can you quickly confirm?
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you very much. So, Poonam, just for your information, I am uh, delivering this session on live YouTube also. My channel. You're, I think, able to see my screen.
Yes, I can.
Thank you very much. So, on AI Learning Solutions channel, you can search me on YouTube, Shalini AI Learning Solution. You will be able to find my channel as well. So, I'm conducting this session live today. With you, you have the opportunity, you can directly connect me on Teams. So, it's a great platform, Teams. So, Poonam, before getting started, I just wanted to have a quick info because I have not shared your voice on my live channel, but it would be really great if you can share what is your profile, why you are attending the session.
Sure. I'm working in the area of data analytics and business analysis,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm currently working on tools like Snowflake, Cloud, and Power BI. So I want to upgrade my skills and learn about these new tools, about the fabrics as well. So that is the reason I'm attending this session.
Thank you, Poonam. Thank you very much. So you are in the working profile or you are in a training profile. Can I have a quick check on that as well? Like,
Sorry, what?
are you in the projects or you are into the training?
I'm in the projects.
You are in the projects. Perfect, perfect. Thank you very much, Poonam. I hope you're already got my introduction that who I am, and
Yes.
today we are going to understand what is fabric actually, what is all about in fabric, what is expectation, that why we are moving towards fabric. So I hope you know the term big data. So when we talk about big data, what is the understanding about big data?
Yes, I am aware.
Great, great. So when you talk about big data, when the data is becoming huge and your basic systems are not capable to take care of such data and you need to process huge amount of data, you need some platform. So Hadoop comes into the picture, later on Spark comes into the picture, then Databricks come into the picture. Now we are looking for a SaaS platform, and Microsoft Fabric is going to help here to cater to towards data. So let me switch to the presentations and let me talk about Fabric. So if I say Microsoft Fabric is a data analytics platform that handles your entire data workflow for collecting and processing data to build reports and dashboards. It combines data ingestion, transformation, real time event routing, visualization through workloads like data engineering, data factory, data science, real time intelligence, and data warehouse and databases. Now, let me give you a thought here. If I say I wanted to um, take the data from the data source, and then I wanted to create a first layer of the data from where my data scientist can pick up or the data, or my data analyst can pick up the data, I may go to Azure platform. I'll talk about the Microsoft technologies highly here. So I may go for Azure platform and choose Azure Data Factory to build that data pipeline, and then I will perform the necessary step of data cleaning, and then my data will become ready, and data will be flowing from data source to that particular layer of the data from where data scientists or data analysts are supposed to pick up the data. If I talk about I am supposed to do the data science activity, if I say Microsoft platform, yes, I will go for Azure Machine Learning Studio, and then I pick up the data and then build my machine learning model. If I am a data analyst and I'm using Microsoft, I will go for Power BI. And under the Power BI platform, I will take my data at next level and build the semantic models, and then my data become ready to do the data analysis. So, Poonam, I hope you are able to think about it, that yes, you are switching from one application to another application to perform some kind of modifications or some kind of changes towards your data to make it ready for data analysis, or to use it to bring value out of your data. Do you agree with me, Poonam? Do you think
Yes,
so?
Shalini, I do.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
yes.
Yes. So, what Microsoft Fabric is bringing to your plate? So, Microsoft Fabric says you have one single platform, and from that single platform, you can do everything. You wanted to do data engineering task, you can do that. You wanted to maintain your data warehouse, you can do that. Even data science activities can also be performed. Real time intelligence activities can be performed, and nowhere to switch any other location. Within Microsoft Fabric, Power BI also has been integrated. If you are knowing Power BI already and you know about Power BI service platform, almost you have already started with Microsoft Fabric, I would say. Microsoft Fabric also have Copilot available in Fabric environment. Yes, there is a limitation with respect to the license, which kind of license you are using. Depending on the license, you will have access to the Copilot also. So if I say Fabric, what is Fabric? Fabric is SaaS platform, software as a service platform. Fabric centralize your data storage. How? It is centralizing your data storage with one lake. So the core structure of Fabric is designed using one lake. It embeds AI capabilities throughout, so you don't need to integrate services manually, allowing you to transform raw data into actionable insights efficiently. Also, it unifies new and existing components from Power BI, from Azure Synapse Analytics, Azure Data Factory, and more into a single environment. Fabric centralized data discovery, administration, and governance by automatically applying permissions and inheriting data sensitivity labels across all the items in the suite. So, this governance part will be taken care by Purview. It is governed, it is powered by Purview, which is built into Fabric. So if your organization is using Microsoft platform, and The data is there, definitely. Microsoft Purview is there, which takes care of the governance and compliance of the data. And this seamless integration lets creator focus on producing their best work without managing the underlying structure. So this is a quick overview about Microsoft Fabric. So it's very important to talk about what is this One Lake exactly. So let me talk about One Lake. So as I have mentioned already, that the core architecture is designed on One Lake. So the Microsoft Fabric platform unifies the One Lake and the Lakehouse architecture across enterprises. One Lake's Fabric centralized data storage architecture enables collaboration by eliminating the need to move or copy data between systems. I understand that situation. I have observed before this Fabric environment, when I have worked with data, we usually create multiple copies of the data because of the transformation which we are doing. And we might be still working in silos. And we have to maintain the governance and security at every layer. So Microsoft Fabric brings this one lake platform. One tenant will have one lake, and under that one lake, every data we can manage. And this unifies your data across regions, clouds into a single logical lake without moving or duplicating the data. Even I have mentioned clouds. It's not only Microsoft clouds based data. If your organization is having the data from Google, or if your organization is having data in Amazon, they still wanted to continue to hold the data there. They can still hold, and still, but in one lake you can bring the access to the data without doing any movement. So there are options available using which you can still access that external data to the Fabric environment without doing any movement towards your data. So you're not duplicating your data, you're not creating multiple copies of your data. If your data is in ADLS or any storage, you can still take your data from there without doing any movement. Or if you wanted to create any structure in one lake, that is also possible. So one lake is what, how it is built. So one lake is built on Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2. It supports various formats including delta format. So if you have ever worked with a huge amount of data, usually when we talk about data breaks, or when we are talking about big data dealing, maintain that data in the delta format. So it supports that. It supports Parquet format, it supports CSV and JSON. It supports all formats of data. You can have any kind of data to be stored in one lake. And all compute engines in Fabric automatically store their data in one lake, making it directly accessible without the need for movement or duplication. And if I talk about tabular data, because most of the time we deal with tabular data, right, Poonam? We deal with tabular data. Most of the time, the data is coming in CSV or
Yes.
JSON, right? So the analytical engine in Fabric write data in Delta Parquet format, and all engines interact with format seamlessly. So if I talk about all Fabric compute experience, come pre-configured with one lake. So you can assume that it's like your OneDrive of your organization, OneDrive for data in your organization. So just understand this picture. It's talk about everything. So we have one lake, like OneDrive for our data, and under that one lake we are maintaining the folders. So how it looks in the real picture, I will show you with the help of a Fabric demo. So I have that environment. So if I wanted to connect with the data with respect to my task, I have different options. So it provides me serverless compute service also. So if I wanted to process my data using data warehouse experience, it gives me T-SQL approach. If I wanted to analyze my data, I wanted to work with the semantic models, it gives me this analysis service, which is Power BI, and I can directly connect with the with my data under the one lake. If I wanted to work with real time intelligence, KQL language support is there. And if I know SQL language, and if I do not know KQL, still I can work with KQL very easily, because there are options available to create KQL queries using the SQL language. So if I talk about KQL, if you are hearing it very first time, it's known as Custo query language, which is used for real time intelligence data exploration. And I'm sure you have heard about Spark, because when we are talking about huge amount of data, data is becoming scalable at enterprise level. So we need a Spark engine, and we need to have the power of a Spark to process that huge amount of data in a fast manner. It do support that. So I can use PySpark or Scala Spark language at the one single place in the fabric itself. It has the support to use notebooks, to execute Python code, to explore the data, to process the data using Spark. It's all possible in one place. Not only this, if I wanted to bring, as I mentioned earlier, that if I wanted to churn my data, I may go to Azure Data Factory and then process my data and then bring the data. No need to go to the Azure Data Factory even. That look and feel based interface has been brought to the Fabric environment. And under that Fabric environment, you will be able to create your data pipelines also. Not only this, you can work with Data Flow Gen 2. What is this Data Flow Gen 2? So let me ask you a quick question. Within Power BI, if I wanted to clean my data, how can I clean my data? If you can comment, the participant who are sitting live, if you know how to clean the data in Power BI desktop, please mention it on the chat. Let's have the session in little interactive. Please mention what is the tool we have in Power BI to clean the data in Power BI desktop. Poonam, if you have any answer to it, and the participant who is watching me live can also support on the chat. Okay, so let me talk about it. Power Query Editor. Have you heard about Power Query Editor, Poonam?
Yes, Shalini.
So that Power Query Editor is a Power BI desktop tool. I hope you know about it. So using Power BI desktop, we actually clean the data, right? So when we, yes, thank you, Poonam. I just observed your answer on the chat. I'm so sorry I missed it. So
No
Power,
worries.
yeah. So Power Query Editor is the tool using which we clean the data, but we have never thought that that tool will be available in Power BI service interface. Yes, it is there. So Power BI data flow is already there. But in Microsoft Fabric, we have Data Flow Gen 2. Now, what is the difference? So Data Flow Gen 2 also gives you the destination power. You can, after cleaning your data using the data flow environment, which gives you Power Query Online, you can clean your data, and that data you can decide what is your destination. So under the one lake, you can decide you wanted to have your data in lakehouse, or you wanted to have your data in data warehouse environment. It's all possible. And you will be able to have first layer cleaned data in the lakehouse itself. That is the power of Microsoft Fabric. You have everything at your place. Now, as I have mentioned, that maybe in your organization, you are using other cloud services, not only Microsoft service, you are using other cloud services. Absolutely possible. You can use other data sources also to have your data in Microsoft Fabric. Now, when you're talking about that data to bring to the one lake, you don't want to create a duplicacy, because data is already saved there. Like if you have ever heard about Power Platform use data first as core storage. So do you know about Power Platform? Just a quick check from my live participants also. And Poonam, you're connected with my teams, so can you tell me, Do you know about Power Platform?
I've heard, but I've not much worked on it.
Okay, no worries. I have recently posted one video on an introduction about Power Platform. You can watch that and you will get a better understanding what exactly Power Platform is. And if I talk about, see, I wanted to have my data. So Dataverse is one of the area in Power Platform where I put my data and I manage my data very easily. So my data is already staying in Dataverse, and now I wanted to analyze my data. So do I need to create a copy of it? No, I can create a shortcut. So with the help of virtualized environment, I can bring that data to the one lake environment and make it available for other set of activities. If I wanted to analyze it, or if I wanted to build any model, or if I wanted to do any data engineering task, I can do that. Also, it supports mirroring. So if I already have my data in Azure SQL DB and I wanted to bring that data, I can do mirroring, a kind of syncing approach which is available in Fabric environment to bring your data at one single place. So this is all available. This is the power of Microsoft Fabric we have. I hope you are able to understand what is the overall architecture of Microsoft Fabric. If you have any question, you can post it on the chat. Now, let's understand a little bit further how it is. So, as I have mentioned, there is the core architecture, that is one lake. So, this one lake is hierarchical design, simplifies the organization wide management. So as I have mentioned, every data is going to be available in one lake. So how it is maintained? A security is a big concern, right? Because one lake, I mentioned that it's one drive for data for the entire tenant, for the entire organization, and every user will have access to that particular data place. So how we will maintain the security? So yes, it supports hierarchical design and gives us lots of security features which we can implement. So we can, first level of security is with the help of Microsoft Entra ID. Then second level of security is towards workspace. Now I'm talking about some terminologies also. So Fabric includes one lake by default. So upfront provision is definitely needed, and each tenant gets one unified one lake with single file system namespace that spans users, regions, and clouds. So one lake organizes data into container for easy handling, and those containers are like folders. So and that big container, you say workspace. So for every task you may create a workspace, and within the workspace, if you are creating a lake house, or if you're creating a warehouse, that will also create a folder like a structure. And within the folder like a structure, when you upload your data, that will also get stored in a folder like a structure, and then the files getting stored. The structure which I'm talking about, it will be locally available in your machines. Although I will be talking about a cloud based environment in my demonstration, but if you are having access to the Fabric license within your organization, you can configure OneDrive like option of one lake in your machine as a local OneDrive concept. So if you have ever worked with OneDrive, you know that OneDrive can be synced, right? OneDrive can be locally available and OneDrive can be available on cloud. And when you have that syncing, if you wanted to access your data anywhere, you can just open the OneDrive option and access your data. The same strategy has been implemented in Fabric, and this implementation has been made at tenant level, at organization level. So any user who has been enabled for Fabric license, they can configure the one lake in their local system also, and they can access the Fabric platform on the cloud based environment, on the web portal also. So both the things are possible. So let me show you a quick demonstration how you can start with Microsoft Fabric. So to work with Microsoft Fabric, the URL is app.fabric.microsoft.com. So let me enter the username and password. Just give me a moment. I'll just enter the credentials. So the URL is app.fabric.microsoft.com. So I've just logged in with the credential where I have the license option to be enabled, and I'm activating my trial license for the Fabric. So you can see it looks like almost Power BI service interface, and you can quickly, if you wanted to switch your Fabric interface to Power BI service, that is also quickly possible. So you can observe here, you have the option of switching. I click on Fabric, and here is the option. I can switch to Power BI experience, or I wanted to work in the Fabric experience. Both options are available. So definitely the session is on Fabric, so I will continue on Fabric environment. Now, I wanted to work with some data, and I wanted to do something on this Fabric platform. So how will I create the environment to work? So here I have the option of workspaces. So I will go to this workspace option. You just observe, here is the workspaces option. I just click on that option, and I can create a new workspace. Now, what should be my workspace name? Let's say YouTube data workspace. I can add some description. Now, to better organize the data, we can add domain also. Although I'm not covering domain in this session, I have already uploaded one video how to work with domain, as data mesh is the topic of my video. You can check up on it. Now, I'm switching to my Fabric license. As I've just initiated my trial license, I'm continuing with the trial license, and I will apply it. So I have just created a workspace in my Fabric license. So now, if I wanted to uh, store my data into this environment, I am already holding one data file which I wanted to store in it. So the first thing where I would store. So one option is already available, known as Lake House. So the Lake House is the uh, main structure available in the layer of one lake, which gives you the capability of data lake as well as data warehouse. What I mean, that using the lake house environment, if you wanted to process your data, or if you wanted to explore your data using tsql, that is also possible. Or if you wanted to work with your data using spark, that is also possible. Now, how will I create that lake house? So with the help of this new item option, I can search for lake house, that I wanted to create a lake house. So I'm giving a name, lake house 1. I do not want schema right now. I just wanted to create the lake house into this workspace. So when you have got your lake house, under this interface, you have two sections. You have tables section and you have files section. Let's say I have a CSV file and I wanted to work with that CSV into this lakehouse environment. So I need to bring that data to this lakehouse environment first, because CSV file is available at my place locally. So how will I upload it? So let me even create a folder. I'm creating a folder here. Let's say data folder I wanted to create. And in this data folder, I wanted to upload my data file. Now when I check my data, it's there. Now, because it's a CSV data and I wanted to work in a tabular format, how easily I can create this data transformed into a table. I'm right now showing the version of creation of the table. However, we can work with the notebooks also. So I am just showing you a small demonstration on it. So I go to the more commands option, and load to tables option is there. I say I wanted to create a new table. What should be the name? You can pick up one name, and it has automatically identifies some of the features, that do you have header, you can check upon it, that in the data file the header is there or not. Yes, it's a CSV file, so comma is the delimiter. So I have both the things available in my file, and I simply click on load. Now you can see data has been loaded as table. And if I wanted to view this data in this format, right here I can preview my data. That is a table view I have got. So the entire data is visible on my screen. Now, if I wanted to see the delta structure, because I have mentioned that the tabular data gets stored in a delta format. So if I switch to file view, I will be able to see that yes, a Parquet file has been generated. Also, a delta log has been generated, which will track the modifications happening in this data file. So if this particular data which I have uploaded, not this file, I'm talking about the sales data. So if that sales data which is there in the tables format available now, if I am doing any modification with the help of my code, it will keep a track what updates you have maintained. So asset transaction property is also supported when you are having your data in the lakehouse based environment. Now, If I'm a T-SQL user and I am more comfortable to work with T-SQL commands and I wanted to explore my data using T-SQL, how I can go for it? Let me show you that option also. So here on the top right corner, if you see, there is an icon available with the Lakehouse option. I do not want to work with the Lakehouse option right now. I want to work with this data using T-SQL option. So here, SQL Analytic endpoint has been generated for me. So if I wanted to connect with this data into the SQL Server platform, it is also possible. XMLA endpoint gets generated. Now my data table I would like to explore. So if I just show you, table is there, sales table is there. If I wanted to write a query, yes, I can write a query. So I say new SQL query. So let's write a query. I have already prepared one query. So I'm hitting a command that I wanted to extract item. So it's an aggregation kind of query I wanted to do. So that I can explore the data. So I wanted to know the revenue at item level, and from the sales table I wanted to have this information. So I'm grouping the information at item, and the result which I wanted to look at, it should be ordered by the revenue. So the topmost revenue should come on the uh, top row, and so descending order basically I'm looking for. So let's run the command, and you can see at after execution of this query I'm able to get this output on my screen itself, that this is the item which is generating the highest revenue, and so on. So definitely you can play with the query as you want. So both the options are there. You wanted to work with uh, T-SQL, that option is there. And if you wanted to work with your lakehouse environment, that option is also there. So when you have this data in this lakehouse and you wanted to create a notebook, option is there. I'm just showing you. So here you have this open notebook and you can write new notebook. So let me show you a quick result. See, I have not written my code. I have just brought my table here, and the code has been generated very easily. Instead of 1,000 records, I am just limiting it to 10 records. So it is automatically using the Spark. So Spark SQL command I'm using. So it allows us to go for select a statement when we are using Spark SQL. And with the help of the Spark also, I can look at my data. So if you're very much familiar with the Spark, because when we deal with huge amount of data and when we deal with enterprise level of data, we need to work with the Spark language. So very easy to begin with. You can start with Python language and you can switch your experience towards PySpark. Very easy to continue. So PySpark or Spark SQL options are there, and you can deal with huge amount of data when your in your organization data is becoming huge and you have switched to the Microsoft Fabric platform. The execution has happened. Okay, Uh, it seems the output of TF. It's showing me the Spark jobs. Where is my output? Let me check again. Okay, the data frame is picking up the SQL output only. So I have to write it in a different manner so that it brings the data in a tabular format. Anyways, but I have just shown you that how to have that notebook based interface. So let me talk about little bit uh, career path which you can check upon. So if you wanted to explore this Microsoft Fabric platform more, and what should you go for? So I'll just guide you quickly. What should be your path? Just another screen. So if you are into the role of data engineering, you're supposed to perform the data activities like creating the pipelines and doing first level data cleaning, and then you are dealing with lots of Python commands, and you are dealing with T-SQL commands because you are into the data engineering role. Then to enhance your knowledge towards Microsoft Fabric, a certification is there which you can think of, that is DP 700 certification. It is Microsoft Fabric Engineering Analytical Certification, and this will be given as like you will become associate on Microsoft Fabric. So DP 700 certification is recommended. However, if you are from data analytics platform, then the certification is DP 600. This DP 600 certification for the users who are into the data analytics role, they are already working with Power BI, or they are dealing with enterprise level data, and then they wanted to understand the Fabric platform completely to work on their projects. So DP 600 certification is recommended. Now, just to add up to your knowledge, I am into the planning where I will be delivering the DP 600 certification program. The content will make you ready to appear for this exam, and I will give you the tips and tricks also to clear the exam, because if you know, I've already cleared 17 certifications from Microsoft. So definitely I have fair understanding how to prepare for the certification, so I can help you with that. So what is going to be there in that DP 600 certification content, I'll just share with you so that you have fair understanding what should you look for when you are preparing for DP 600. I'll just share my screen. So this DP 600 or DP 700, both programs are of 4 days at this point of time. So if you start working on it, this is going to be the course content. We'll start with the Microsoft Fabric. I have already given you some idea of what is Microsoft Fabric. So we will deep dive into this platform, how to enable the Microsoft Fabric, or to whom to ask to enable this service for you, and then how to begin with it. There will be lab environment also given to you, so that you can practice, you can do the hands on practically and have a better experience towards the learning. So we will cover all these things into the Microsoft Fabric practically. So I have already given some pointers today, that lake house is there, how it looks, even we have seen it. Data flow is there, data pipelines are there, so we can work with that. Practically you will be exploring the platform. So getting started with lake house, ingestion of the data using the data flow, working with the Spark, all these things are there with the lab experience. Then after working with Microsoft Fabric first level of interface, then you might be interested to talk about data warehouse, because in the enterprise, when you are dealing with huge amount of data, we usually use data warehouse experience to deal with the data. So data warehouse option is there, and in this we will work with data warehouse experience completely, that how we can create the tables using T-SQL statements, how we can query the data, how we can monitor the data into the warehouse, and even the security implementation which is possible, that we will also cover practically. You can see all these labs we are going to do in the session. Then, because as I mentioned, this is a DP600 certification program I am highlighting if you wanted to learn. So under the analytical platform, because Power BI is the tool using which we create the visualization, using which we do the data analysis, building the dashboards and reports. So how we can add measures using the Power BI desktop, and how we can deal with scalable semantic model. So what options are coming from data fabric, Microsoft Fabric, with the help of data lake concept, which we can bring to the Power BI platform. Not only this, we will also talk about calculation group, which is added recently into the Power BI platform. So how to work with calculation group, that also be the topic here. And we will also talk about row level security, because here also security is very very important. So all these things practically you will be exploring. Then real time intelligence as well, because when we are talking about data, it's not only static or stored data, it is sometimes we have to analyze the data which is coming in real time. So what options are there to explore the real time data, how to create a real time data based dashboard, that also we will cover in this particular certification program. So it's, this program is of 4 days 8 hours. The batch is going to be started from 28th of March. That is the plan. So if you have any such requirement, if you have any question, or if your any of your friends are also interested, you can let me know. You can contact me on training at the rate ailearningsolution.com. So that is my email ID, you can contact me. So that's all for today's session. If you have any questions, you can share it with me, Poonam. You can ask, and the participant who are attending the session live, they can post the questions on the live chat. Any questions? Poonam, any questions from your side?
No, Shalini, nothing right now. But thank you very much for this session. This topic is quite clear right now.
Great. So, Poonam, for your reference, I'm just sharing the link, which is my YouTube link. Give me a moment. I hope you will be able to see the recording also from the channel directly. Here it is. You can check out some videos on Microsoft Fabric, which I have posted already, which is upon domains, how to work with domains. It's talking about data mesh also. When we work with huge amount of data, you know about, if you know about data mesh, so that can be implemented and in the Fabric platform. So some video I have uploaded on that. So okay, that's good to go. Thank you very much for joining in, and you can contact me anytime for any other requirement. So live audience can definitely post any comments or any topic on which you wanted to look for the videos. Let me know. I will definitely plan some webinar live sessions in upcoming time. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much for joining in.
Thank you, Shalini.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.